Dear Diary, apparently you can get banned for being kind. At least that's what it looks like. A young man went into Walmart and started doing something that most of us would probably say we want to see more of. He paid for people's groceries. Not because they won something, not because they knew him, not because they had done anything for him, but just because he could. And somehow, he ended up being told he wasn't welcome back. Now, there may be policies involved. I understand that. There may be a part of the story that we don't know. There are almost always some details that don't fit inside this little 60-second videos that they show. But strangely enough, the part that stayed with me wasn't Walmart. It wasn't even the band. It was the groceries. Because somewhere along the way, we've made kindness feel remarkable. Think about that. A stranger quietly paying for another stranger's food is unusual enough that millions of people will stop scrolling and they will watch it. And maybe that says something about us. Because I wonder how many people walk past us every day carrying problems that would be surprisingly inexpensive to make a little lighter. Sometimes it's groceries. Sometimes it's holding the door when someone's hands are full. Sometimes it's noticing the person standing by themselves. Sometimes it's calling somebody you haven't heard from in a while. Sometimes it's simply saying, I got you. And girls, I hope you understand something long after I'm gone. The world is going to teach you a lot about what you're allowed to do. There will be rules, policies, social expectations, people telling you when you're doing too much, people telling you when you're not doing enough. And sometimes those rules will make pretty perfect sense. But I don't ever want you to become so good at following the rules of the world that you forget the responsibility of being human in it. Because there's something interesting about kindness. The person giving it usually remembers the moment, but the person receiving it may remember the moment completely different. To them, maybe it was just a grocery bill. To the mother wondering how she was going to stretch her paycheck out until Friday, it might have been a relief. To the father quietly putting things back because the total got a little bit too high, it might have been dignity. To the older woman counting what was left in her account, it might have meant she didn't have to choose between the two things she needed. You never really know what side of somebody's story you accidentally walked into. And that's why I don't think the lesson here really is go break rules in the name of kindness. It's actually much simpler than that. Don't let someone else's reaction determine whether the goodness in you was worth giving. Because that's a dangerous habit. If you only remain kind when kindness is rewarded, you're not really practicing kindness, are you? You're practicing a transaction. And life doesn't always clap when you do the right things. Sometimes nobody notices. Sometimes people misunderstand you. Sometimes your intentions get questioned. And apparently, sometimes you might even get kicked out of Walmart. But I'd rather raise two girls who occasionally have to be reminded of the rules because they were trying to help somebody than two girls who learned every rule perfectly and stopped noticing the people standing beside them. So maybe that's what I'll take from this one. Not the controversy, not who's right, not who's wrong, just the strange little reminder that somewhere inside a grocery store, one person decided that another person's problem could become their own problem for a few minutes. And for however complicated the rest of the story becomes, I mean, I hope that part never stops being worth something. So, dear diary, maybe kindness doesn't always need permission, but it should always have a purpose. That's all I got for you girls this time. Be great, be kind, be awesome, and as always, see you at the finish line.